You ready?
Yeah.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about The Girl Next Door. The Girl Next Door does something that most comedy movies of its time were afraid or maybe lazy to do. It flips one of the cinema's oldest tropes in its head. You know the one, the damsel in distress. It's a narrative structure we have seen time and time again, where the male protagonist saves the helpless girl, proving he's a worthy hero. But here's the twist. In this movie, Matthew isn't the savior, he is the one who needs saving. Matthew Kidman is stuck. He's the nerdy nice guy, but his life is painful boring. He got good grades, a good college lined up, but deep down, he's dissatisfied, uninspired, and utterly unremarkable. Enter Danielle, the mysterious, confident girl next door. Danielle doesn't just turn his world upside down, she becomes a spark that sets on fire. This is where the girl next door pulls off something special. Danielle's role isn't just to be a love interest or an object of desire. She becomes the driving force behind Matthew's growth, instead of the guy swooping in to save the girl. Danielle is the one saving Matthew from his own inertia. She is not a manic pixie dream girl either. That isn't about quirky antics, it's about seeing Matthew's potential and pushing him to actually embrace life. Matthew Kidman represents something that really gets explored in male protagonists, especially in romantic comedies. He is not a bold hero or a suave charmer, he's awkward, dissatisfied, and above else, lonely. There's this quiet sadness about Matthew. He has all the potential in the world, but he's trapped by expectations, by fear, and deep-seated belief that nothing in his life will ever truly change. And then Danielle arrives. She's more than just the girl next door. She's the symbol of everything Matthew doesn't believe he can have: adventure, confidence, and connection. But what makes this movie stand out is that Danielle doesn't just exist to be his dream girl. She sees him.
You're an asshole. It's not funny.
It's a little funny.
She truly sees him. This dynamic is why so many men feel such a visceral connection to this movie. Online you find countless posts of fans describing how the girl next door makes them feel happy, nostalgic, and strangely lonely all at once. That's because Matthew's story taps into something universal, the quiet loneliness that so many people feel but rarely talk about. For a lot of men, Matthew is not just a character. He is a reflection, and Danielle becomes the embodiment of a dream, of someone who do not only notice you but loves you for exactly who you are, even when you don't love yourself.
So what's the craziest thing you've done lately?
Oh, I mean, it's hard to tell, you know, because I've just done so much nuts stuff. I mean,
You haven't done anything, have you?
no.
What makes the love between Danielle and Matthew feel so real? It is not based on cliches. It's built on subtle, unspoken language of connection. Director Luke Greenfield makes a deliberate choice to focus on these little things. The way they look at each other.
Well, good night.
Good night.
The hesitation before they speak, the small gestures that communicate more than words even could. This is where the film truly shines. It doesn't just tell you they're in love, it shows you it's in the way Danielle's eyes soften when she looks at Matthew, as if she sees something in him that he couldn't even see himself. And it's in the way Matthew watches her, not full of lust, but with awe. Like he could believe someone like her could exist, a true beauty from the inside, let alone care about someone like him. The love here isn't loud or performative, it is quiet and deeply personal. It's the kind of love that felt in a glance or a touch, or even a moment of shared silence, and that's what makes so powerful. These aren't two characters forced together by plot conveniences.
Just go with it.
There are two people who genuinely connect, and their love isn't just emotion, it's transformative. Danielle helps Matthew break free from his insecurities, while Matthew gives Danielle the chance to reclaim her innocence and rediscover the person she wants to be. It's not about lust, it's about two people seeing each other's soul and saying, I choose you. Danielle's journey is one of redemption. She's not just looking for love, but for a second chance at innocence. After leaving the adult film industry, she's searching for something deeper, something that will help her reclaim a part of herself, a part she thought was lost forever. And enter Matthew. Matthew, someone who doesn't see her as a commodity but as a person, a real person with hopes and fears and dreams beyond her past. This is where the movie gets interesting. While most films would reduce a character like Danielle to a simple plot device or a bad girl who needs saving, The Girl Next Door takes the time to explore her emotional complexity. She isn't defined by her past, she's a woman trying to find a way back to herself. Matthew doesn't rescue her, he helps her rediscover her worth.
What? What are you thinking?
What are you thinking?
Why are you doing this?
What?
This.
He's the anchor she didn't know she needed, helping her realize she can be loved for who she is and not others have labeled her. Danielle's vulnerability is the key to her character. When she opens up to Matthew about the struggles and her desire to be more than her past, it's not just a confession, it's a moment of raw honesty, a moment where she allows herself to be seen, but as someone, not as a former adult film actress, but as someone who is deeply human. And Matthew in turn accepts her flaws and all, which is a huge part of what makes their love feel so real. What's beautiful about Danielle's story is that it isn't just about finding redemption through love, it's about finding self-acceptance. It's about embrace who you are, no matter what your past may look like.
Jesus, is that her?
In the end, Danielle doesn't just find a new life with Matthew, she finds a new sense of self-worth, and that's a message that resonates with everyone, not just those with a complicated past. This movie doesn't rely on the typical teen movie formula where the geek gets the girl as his reward for changing. No, Matthew's journey is about confidence, but also seeing his potential beyond the high school walls. In many ways, Danielle is the one pushing him out of his comfort zone, helping him taking risks and embrace his future.
You're the best thing that ever happened to me, okay? Me too!
Aww.
And that's the brilliance of The Girl Next Door. It doesn't treat its characters as mere stereotypes, but as people with real struggles and real emotional depth. Yes, I know it's a high school movie and it keeps those familiar moments like the prom, the college decisions, and the awkward first kiss, but it never relies on them to tell the story. Instead, it uses them to explore much deeper themes about self-worth, acceptance, and emotional healing. In the end, The Girl Next Door gives a high school romance that feels different, because it's not afraid to be real. It takes the typical high school tropes, the cliches we all know, and tells a story that's much more grounded, much more emotional, and ultimately, much more lasting. It's not just another teen flick, it's a film that shows us that growing up isn't about fitting into a mold, but about finding your own path, even if it's not what you expect.
Will you go to prom with me?
I would love to.
What makes this film so emotionally powerful is it shows how both characters need each other to heal. It's not about one person fixing the other, it's about learning to trust, learning to be vulnerable, and ultimately learning to love each other, not just for what they want to be, but for who they really are. And by the end of the film, when we see them walk side by side, we know that the true journey wasn't just about their romance, it was about their growth as individuals. They found out who they really are, and doing so, they learned how to love themselves first. And that's a real thing for a teen flick to show. The characters aren't just looking for someone to save them, they're learning to save themselves. So what this film teaches us, the emotional healing isn't a solo journey, it's a shared one. It's about learning to let go of the things that hold us back, trusting someone enough to share our struggles, and ultimately finding the courage to face the future with someone by your side who accepts you for who you really are. So there you have it. The Girl Next Door isn't just another teen movie. It's a story about finding love, healing, and most importantly, learning to accept who you are, with flaws and all. The beauty of this film lies in how it takes familiar tropes and flips them on their head, offering them something deeper and more meaningful in the process. If you haven't seen The Girl Next Door, I highly recommend to check it out. Let me know in the comments, did this film change the way you see teen romances? And hey, if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.